like to introduce you to someone. This is Miss Presley Jane. You've been watching her grow in my belly for the last 42 weeks, basically. We were at 41 in 6 days, so 42 weeks, I think I can say that, huh? You liked it in there, didn't you? Did you like it in my belly? Yeah. I love you. But Presley Jane Kaler made her arrival on Saturday, May 20th, 2017. If you'd like to watch her birth vlog, I'll have it up there. I think the little link thing pops up so you can see what her actual birthday was like. Oh, do you have something to say about it too? But as you can see, she's actually cooing and making a lot of noises already within 1 week, which I just find so cute and precious. And needless to say, I'm in love, Daddy is head over heels in love, Big Brother Landon is totally in love, and even Coley, you can't see Coley, but she's at my feet right now. She's like attached to this baby. She's already like, I'm the protective big sister of my little sister Presley. So Presley was induced, so it was kind of a crazy birthday because we had our induction scheduled for 10 a.m. on that Saturday. The hospital called us in the morning. We were so anxious, excited. We woke up at like 6 or 6:30 to just get ready and sort of take our time, have a nice breakfast, because I knew I wouldn't be able to eat once we got to the hospital. And the hospital called and delayed the induction. I will be doing a video of the entire labor and delivery story as well, so I'm not gonna go into all of the details, but this girl was even later than we thought she was finally going to come. So I don't know if that says anything about what her personality might be. I might have a procrastinator on my hands, I'm not really sure. But so far, Miss Presley Jane is doing really well after this first week. We had her first doctor's appointment when she was 4 days old, and I was really, really pleased that the weight when we left the hospital, she was at 6 pounds 11 ounces, and she was at 6 pounds 15 ounces at her doctor's appointment. So I was really encouraged to know that she was already gaining some ounces. Since I am breastfeeding, that is one of the things they can still continue to lose. They get concerned if it's more than 10% of their birth weight. So I was really, really happy to see that she hadn't lost more, that she'd actually gained a little bit back in those days since we left the hospital. What, Peanut? Speaking of that, we might need to stop and nurse during this video because she did just take a pretty lengthy nap. So for the most part, she's waking to eat about every 2 hours. Sometimes it's shorter, it will be like a 1 hour nap. Other times she'll last about 3 hours. I'm not really sure she knows night or day or anything like that yet, so I'm sure at some point we'll have to broach the sleep training sort of cycle. But for now, she's mainly sleeping, eating, and pooping a ton. This girl has so many dirty diapers. When she first came out even, she pooped all over me. Like literally they laid her on my chest and within 10 seconds, poop all over. My husband was just like, there was green poop all over. So the really cute hospital gown I got was instantly destroyed, which I know you run that risk anyways. You don't expect that hospital gown to be something you keep. What, sweetie? Even her cry faces are so cute to me. It's like ridiculous how obsessed you become with your baby, but even their sad crying faces you think are so cute and adorable. A couple of the things that we broached with Presley that I know are just not necessarily typical, but they say typical for sort of the type of baby she was. What, honey? Oh, you wanna eat? Here, we're gonna eat. Okay, now that she's eating, Presley was born in 3 pushes, so a lot of the nurses told us in that first 24-hour window, we had to really watch her mucus. She was coughing, a little bit sneezy, but mainly coughing up a lot of mucus. And they actually were really encouraging that she cried a lot because crying helps loosen that mucus, get it up out of their lungs. I guess when a baby is pushed out rather quickly, they don't necessarily breathe in some of the fluid that I guess is necessary to help clean their lungs out. I'm not 100% sure. I actually want to kind of look into more of the medical rationale behind it. But long story short, they said because she was pushed out so quickly, that's why her mucus was really high. So it was just something we had to closely monitor those first 24 hours. And the nurse actually at one point did take her away to the nursery so that they could suction a lot out because she had been crying and just kind of had a big build up. So they suctioned a little bit of the mucus out in the nursery. Another thing, because she was overdue, and I even had some subscribers write about this, is that overdue babies generally have much drier skin than a baby that's born right around their due date or a bit earlier. And her skin is very, very dry. So we actually didn't give her a second bath because the nurses advised if she did not have some kind of a crazy, messy blowout where a bath would be necessary, and she hasn't had any serious blowouts yet, that we could wait a little bit longer to give her her second bath after the hospital, just because her skin would be really dry, and even just water, but any kind of soap could just make it even drier at this point. So we just used a teeny tiny bit of soap, but mainly she just had a nice warm water bath today. And Adam's such a good dad. He like had the space heaters going in the bathroom so that it was super hot and comfortable for her. So she got to have her first bath. She only cried for like the first few seconds of it, and then actually she got really happy and comfortable as we just sort of gave her a little sponge bath too, because she still has her umbilical cord stub attached as well. So you can't actually give them a full water soaking until that umbilical cord falls off. But as far as her coloring goes, that was one of the things I was the most curious when she came out to see what she was going to look like. She has brown hair, it looks like, but who knows? Everybody's telling me it could fall out, it could change colors, so you don't know. But right now she has brown hair, and her eyes are a very dark blue, but that's where I don't think she'll have the same color eyes as Landon. He has like a very greenish golden color eye. I think her eyes might be Daddy's eyes because they just look so much darker to me, and my husband has dark brown eyes, so we'll see. This might be our brown-eyed girl. But as far as her facial features go, I'm just, oh, see guys, we're making a poop again. This girl is such a stinker. She just poops and poops and poops. But it's good. It means that she's getting a lot of breast milk and growing. So I will take it as a good sign. I will clean all the dirty diapers in the world if it means that she's healthy and growing. Ooh, you're stinky, girl. We need another bath already. But I'll show you, we pulled up a picture of Landon when he was at the hospital as well and held it up next to Presley, and they totally look alike. She definitely looks like a girl. I would say like her features have, I don't know what it is, they're just more girly looking, more feminine, but they have very similar faces. So I think we'll likely be able to tell that Landon and Presley are brother and sister as she continues to grow. But at birth, Presley was 18.5 inches long, and she was again 7 pounds 5 ounces at birth. She's now 6 pounds 15 ounces. So she did lose some weight, but has gained some ounces back since then, which is great. And her head was 35 centimeters around, which the nurse said was really average. Landon's head was in the 98th percentile when he was born, which is probably why I tore in multiple places and had like 3rd-degree tears with him. Not fun. Her delivery was much better. I think her head is still though around the 80th percentile is what I think it all panned out to when they looked at the actual centimeters. So she is, for being overdue nearly 2 weeks, she's still a relatively average baby. She's not super big, but not super tiny either. She's right in the middle at 7 pounds there. And it's uncanny that her brother and her had nearly identical measurements besides her head when they were born. So Landon was exactly the same weight as her, 7 pounds 5 ounces, but he was 18.75 inches long. So he had her beat height-wise by 1/4 inch. I thought that was pretty crazy though, that for brother and sister, how almost spot on they've been with measurements for each other. Maybe this is also a sign of them constantly trying to like one up each other or equal the other one out. I don't know. Is that what you were doing? Is that why you were taking your time? Were you taking your time in there so that you could try to beat your brother? Were you trying to beat him in measurements? She is just such a joy. Our family obviously is still adjusting a lot. Big brother Landon though is doing such a good job. He really, occupying himself when he plays with his toys. He's concerned when she cries. He's really cautious and gentle around her. And I know all of this can change. I mean, he's also a 2-year-old, so his patience level isn't one of the adult to be super understanding, but I just, more than anything, am so impressed with him. Every day I communicate with him how proud I am of him, you know, understanding that mommy needs time with the new baby, and that when mommy is feeding the new baby, she knows that's time that I can't play with him or get up and come see what he's doing as easily. And I really am just feeling like being open in that communication with him, and, you know, making it clear to him what is going on so that he understands and doesn't think I'm, you know, being a mean mommy. I know, as silly as that sounds, you have to put yourself in your 2-year-old's shoes of what they think. And if, you know, he says mommy and I can't get up at that moment because I'm sitting feeding her, I just try to be open and talk to him sort of like an adult and just tell him why that is, and so he can be more understanding. And I feel like it is helping so far, because he's just been really, really good with this huge adjustment to our family. So I don't know, I know I've had a lot of people ask in comments if there was anything I was doing to help prepare Landon. Presley did get him a little pink Elvis Cadillac in the hospital, and he's literally played with it every day since then, has thanked her every single day for the car when he pulls it out to play with it, which I think is just so sweet. So that would be, I think, another thing that I would say. If you do have another sibling that you are bringing into your family, I think getting the little present from the baby to the older sibling was really helpful. He also picked out something for her, so I think that helped give him some ownership or some pride in saying like, oh, I picked out something for the baby too, even though she obviously can't really play with it yet. But I think that, and just being really honest and telling them, here's what's going on, here's what's happening, just so they feel like they're included and not being forgotten about. So that's all I think I have for this 1-week update of baby Presley. I just want to thank all of you so much who've been following me on this journey and who've commented, whether it's on our videos, on Instagram, all the direct messages you sent me when I was getting to my wit's end as this pregnancy seemed like it was never going to end. Well, it did, and it has the best end result ever. It almost doesn't even feel like it's only been a week. Like, I don't know how life would be without Presley Jane at this point. So thank you all so much. Truly, your kind words. I read all of them. I try my best to reply to as many of you as I possibly can. And if I haven't, I'm sorry. I know I've read it and that it means so much to me that you've left me some kind words or a little note or a little piece of advice. I appreciate it. But stay tuned, because this journey for Presley Jane has only just begun, and I cannot wait to share her with all of you as she continues to grow and as I continue to experience mommyhood to 2 babies as opposed to 1. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.
She don't laugh at everything, but when she does, the planets swing around her. And she don't step on sidewalks, seems her teenage boyfriends all still dream about her.